You're now watching This AFC South Show, brought to you by Curtis Podcast Network, hosted by Curtis Brown, Blake Bellamy, Isaiah Michelli, and Jeff Steckel. Hello, everybody, and welcome to This AFC South Show, number 72. I'm your host, Curtis Brown, and this is Curtis's Podcast Network. With me, as always, Blake Bellamy, Isaiah Michelli, and Jeff Steckel. We are all each a representative of the fan base of one AFC South team. I'm a Texans fan, Blake a Titans fan. Obviously, Isaiah is a Jags fan, and then Jeff is our Colts fan. AFC South's had some rough weeks lately, so it's getting interesting. It's mostly just draft talk, but we still got basically the back half of the season here, and doesn't look like three of the teams are going to be doing much anything. But with that, go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button, and we're in the hunt for 1,000. Got the merch link in the description. Jeff, flash the...
Yeah, like a fly.
So, let's get into it. Jeff, we're going to lead off with the Colts and the Raiders. Take it away.
All right. So, outside of the Broncos, these are probably two of the most disappointing teams overall for the season, I would say, so far. I don't know if Las Vegas really had, like, winning the division aspirations. I think the Colts, they were favored by most to win the AFC South. It's just been, they just thudded like they did at the end of last season. A little bit of good news, though. Frank Reich was fired. I honestly thought it was going to happen at the end of last season. It's just, he's been on borrowed time, in my opinion. But I honestly thought that John Fox would probably take over as interim, and Irsay threw a curveball and brought in Jeff Saturday. Colts fan base, they love him. I mean, he's a really good guy. He was, longtime center with Peyton Manning, so he's a great guy. He just doesn't have a lot of coaching experience, but to say that there's a lot of people saying that he just doesn't have experience, and I'm like, well, two-time Super Bowl participant, won one, playoffs 12 years. He was the center for Peyton Manning, and I think he went to Green Bay for a little while with Rodgers. So to say he doesn't have experience is just kind of ridiculous, and to say he can't lead, I think he can. I don't necessarily think this is a tank move. I think they were kind of already in the process of that unintentionally. But I think it's just, I think Saturday maybe just wanted to get his feet wet. This is a good opportunity to start learning the ropes of coaching. He even said in his presser, if I suck and, 8 games in, whatever, I'll just say bye. I tried, and that's just his personality. So, but he's a fiery guy. Do what?
That was a great press conference.
Yeah, it was fun. Except for Irsay. Looked like he was hitting the sauce a little hard, but
Hey, Jeff, you want a drink real quick?
Here's some whiskey. Let me pull out my guitar and sing some tunes. But this is a game I think that could go either way, just because the Raiders have been so inconsistent and awful for the most part. I have the Raiders winning, but not by much. I think they'll probably win maybe by 3, but maybe they'll open it up. Maybe they'll take some chances, because I know Reich was being super conservative with Ellinger, and it's just, they don't really have anything to lose at this point. So maybe they'll come out and, show a different side than what they've done. My hopes aren't high. Some good news. I know Jonathan Taylor came back as a full participant, so it'll be good to have him back. On the downside, both of the tight ends, Cox and Jelani Woods, were both didn't participate back-to-back. So, but they don't use them anyway, so I don't know why that doesn't really matter, I guess. But it'll be interesting to see how Ellinger does. He still hasn't had a passing or a rushing touchdown, so it'll be nice to see if he can get into that against a pretty bad Raider defense. But I see the Raiders winning this game by 3.
Yeah.
But I with Frank Reich gone, I don't know why they didn't take Pryor with him. There was There's that joke a while back where they entered into Wikipedia about him being the human traffic cone, and I think that's kind of insulting to the traffic cone. Traffic cones serve a purpose. You're driving down the road, you see a cone, you have to move. He's kind of the equivalent if the traffic cone were painted the same color as the roadway.
Mm.
You just kind of thud over the traffic cone, go, what the hell was that, and keep going. That's what he does on the line.
Yeah.
So, Isaiah, did you pulled up Madden, right?
Oh yeah, I got Madden pulled up.
Did you put in a Kiki QT in his position? I'm curious what his rating would be.
Is he on your guys' team?
Yeah. He's a wide
73 overall wide receiver.
What would he be plugged in as a what is he at? Right guard or right tackle?
Left tackle.
Tackle, yeah.
Let's take a look here. Left tackle. Save. Let's go back to left tackle. He is a 13 overall,
which is still better than what Pryor should be. If he's rated any higher, I don't know how. He's terrible. But if I'm any running any defense, I'm putting like a linebacker behind, right behind him. He can't even block one guy. I don't know why he's still playing. But and the irony is the Colts traded with the Eagles to get him. Yeah. Like it's like double insult with Wentz and him.
Yeah.
Get rid of him.
Did you hear any of that noise about when Jeff Saturday got hired? There were some people on the face page that called it racist.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Why would you want to coach this team right now? Like Jeff Saturday loves the team, he loves the community, and I think it's just kind of him doing a favor. Like no one else would want to take over this right now. It's just a bad position to put anybody in.
Look, I think Jeff Saturday is almost uniquely qualified to lead people because this is one of the only people who ever actually yelled back at Peyton.
One of my favorite videos.
Yeah, we're running the ball. We're running the ball. I'm a Jeff Saturday guy, I
love the guy.
I mean, basically, his motto in that whole video is what we built our viewership on: run the ball,
run the fucking ball. Yeah, he's yelling at Peyton Manning. It was a great video.
You run the damn ball.
When's the run the damn ball shirt coming out with my face on it? Just like
I don't know, but
AFC run the damn ball.
Yeah, AFC run the damn ball show. Like that's what happens when your four best players in the division are running backs. It's just
yeah. Hey, I'm just excited we got a running back. It's been a while.
It's
been since Matt Forte.
You guys had Lamar Miller. He was all right.
Yeah,
he's kind of washed, but he's all right.
I mean, he was
that guy from Arizona
last year or whatever. He tore his ACL week 1 of the preseason one year, and then we just never saw him again. He missed out on 1,000 yards twice by 13 yards, and then tore his ACL. He was
We all had David Johnson. He was
terrible.
Yeah, he was terrible. Guys.
Yeah, David Johnson.
Who'd rather have D-Hop
really,
or
it's
David
been
Johnson?
since Arian Foster.
Oh, David Johnson for sure.
Yeah, where's he?
Arian Foster. That's what I was thinking.
I mean, I was happy the Texans made the trade, but
I was so happy. Great trade. Who'd they give that?
I was trying my hardest to try to justify that trade. I couldn't. There was literally no justification there.
Less baby mamas walking around, I guess. That's about it.
Yeah, well, at least not in Houston. All right, so you have the Raiders winning by 3?
yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's what I put in my picks.
I say that's not going to happen because they can't win one-score games. So
Are you giving credit to the Colts?
I'm not giving anything to the Colts. Let's not get it twisted. I'm just saying
It'll be another tie game or what?
The Raiders have shown that eight games this year they could not win in a one-score game.
That's true. It's true.
They've been up 3 or 4 games this year by 17 points or more and lost all of them. They're just awful.
Who are they? The Ravens?
Yeah, no kidding.
The Ravens won.
You know, it's funny. I saw a stat. Jacksonville has a 21 point positive point differential, and the Dolphins have a minus 11, and they're 6-3, and we're 3-6. Like, crazy how the world works.
Mm. Well, that's the difference in having Tua and Trevor Lawrence. But
No, that's the difference in having Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Christian Kirk and Zay Jones.
I mean, I'll give you that. Anyway. All right. So if the Colts are going to win this one score game, because the Raiders can't win one score games.
They'll win by accident.
Okay.
It'll be like a special teams kickoff return or some shit to win it.
It's a 1 point game. The Colts missed an extra point earlier in the game, and the Raiders are going to punt the ball at the very end of the game. They high snap out the back of the end zone, and it gives the Colts a safety, and they win by 1 point.
It'll be 2-1. No, you can't have that.
The fantasy 1 point play. The 1 point play is such a beautiful, majestic beast that we've never seen in recent history.
It's true. I actually saw a video about the 1 point play earlier.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. Blake, you got anything on this Colts game?
See, this is gonna be weird. I kind of like the Colts in this game, only for the fact that anytime there is a new head coach, that team always tends to win the next game. They may suck for the rest of the season, but they usually win the first game. And I feel like this has that all over it. However, there are things that go against the Colts for the obvious reasons. Ellinger, he's not that great, at least right now. And then Jeff Saturday, who I think the extent of his head coaching was high school? And he wasn't a very good high school coach either. But we'll see. I did like that presser, like that speech where he was just going off and saying, "No, if I'm bad after 8 games, I'm out of here." Like, I like that. Like, he seems like a good dude, and he also looks like a head coach for the Eagles, like in 1982, and I kind of like that. And I think he could do all right. I feel like he's gonna be he's kind of like a Mike Vrabel kind of coach, where he's just in your face, got pads on in practice, and I like that. And I feel like the AFC South needs some toughness and some grit. So I kind of like the Colts. I think right now my picks, I have the Raiders, but things always tend to change up for my heart on Sunday morning. So yeah. I'm kind of leaning Colts right now. If I had to pick right now, I think I might go with the Colts.
I'm wondering if they'll put Saturday in some pads and have him put on Pryor's jersey.
There's so many times where I want Vrabel to go out there and play. You'll feel that. The Colts will screw up so bad. You're like, dude, Jeff Saturday just needs to go out there. And there's been times where Titans get blown out and nobody can tackle or even catch because he can play tight end. And Vrabel, just go out there. You're gonna call plays anyway.
Oh man. Well, I feel pretty similarly. It's worth noting that Waller and Renfro will be on IR for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, Renfro, what a disappointment. I dropped him on 3 leagues.
Renfro, the invisible man, Hunter Renfro. He's just been nowhere this year.
He's not done anything this season. It's been all
his biggest highlight against Jacksonville was a drop pass at the end of the game that would have put them driving to get a field goal or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not super. I don't really like the Raiders' chances in this one, honestly. The more we talk about it, the stars are kind of aligning here. I'm going Colts. Colts.
Going against the
Colts. I won't pick the Colts a lot this year, but I think Colts this week too.
This is a favorable matchup, okay? Because the Raiders are supposed to be good, but aren't at all. Mm-hmm. They're just a handicapped team that keeps trying to throw to one guy and run the ball with one.
And everyone knows the Colts are going to suck, so it's they have everything to gain here. Plus, McDaniels just up and broke up with the Colts. So, Irsay's whoever plays the Raiders,
kill him.
You go and kill him. Yeah, exactly. He's going to slip them extra, 20.
There's not a lot of weight in that, though. Irsay also said to go out and kill the Titans, and that didn't go well either. So
no, but Frank Wright was at helm. I'd rather go against Jeff Saturday as a rookie head coach in the middle of the season than Frank Wright on his best day.
Do you know that in the post-game conference, Devontae Adams said that the reason they lost is because they stopped throwing to him in the second half? even though they targeted him 8 times in the second half and 9 times in the first half.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah,
He got us 12 times, man.
yeah. He didn't break the receiving record for most receptions in a game, so they didn't target him enough. Like
If Devontae Adams was on the Titans, I would tell Malik Willis or Tannehill or
to throw it to the running back.
Just throw it to him every single time. You have better chances than not him catching it.
Because then he's throwing a pick because they can't throw out of the backfield. That's not okay.
Anyway, so with that, let's move to the Titans and the Broncos. Obviously, the Broncos are not a super good team. The Russell Wilson-led Broncos are trying to ride, and it's not taking it. They are coming off of a win a week ago. They did have a bye week. If there was a possibility of Russell Wilson finding some sort of mojo, this would be the time. They're basically in a win-now mode, and any loss from this point basically systematically and mathematically eliminates them from contention for anything post-season, which I'm pretty sure would be kind of a letdown for the Broncos franchise that spent a lot of cap and cash on Russell Wilson. So this is an important game for them. This is a defense that's pretty good, even though, Bradley Chubb's not there. I don't necessarily think that the Broncos are going to win. I think it's going to be a closer game than it needs to be. I think the Broncos have the elements to make that happen. But I also think it's going to be probably a pretty low-scoring affair. Probably like a 16-13 game. Derrick Henry's probably got like 30 touches for like 123 on the ground, a touchdown, and Ryan Tannehill's thrown like 14 passes. Completed like 8. Just out here like for like 89 yards and a touchdown.
Maybe a fumble.
Maybe.
Tannehill?
It's like a Tannehill stat line right there. I mean, he usually gets like, but this season it's been like 150 is his average per game.
Yeah, I want to know how many games he had under 100 as a Titan. I feel like there's been a lot since like 2018 or 19 whenever he came Titan.
When this happens, it's very obvious that that weird franchise record of never having a 4,000-yard passer is not changing anytime soon.
No. The Titans have never had even with Warren Moon, we've never had a 4,000-yard.
Steve McNair.
Have y'all really never had a 4,000-yard
Never had a 4,000. That's not that difficult. Like,
that's crazy.
He had like 25,000-yard seasons.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure like Vince Young had like 3,300 yards, and everybody was like, "Oh man, he's the GOAT."
I don't think he's ever hit 3,000. Vince Young.
That rookie season, he might have.
No, there's no way he hit 3,000. He didn't even start till like week 5 or 6.
That's still like a fair amount of games.
Yeah,
he threw for
like maybe all.
He threw for like 300 yards against the Texans that year, both games.
Yeah, the overtime one where he ran like 60 yards for a touchdown, that was beautiful.
That hurt.
I'll never forget that day.
So bad. But I knew it was going to happen.
Threw the football. His first game in Houston, his hometown, is beautiful.
Yeah, no, Vince Young maxed out at 25-46 on a season. That was his second year in the NFL.
Damn.
Yeah, the Titans haven't had very many 3,000-yarders either. Like, Hasselbeck is one of our leading passers.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah, he threw for like 30. I think he's the leader. I think he hit like 36 or 34 or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Perhaps. That guy, I don't know what it is with Tennessee, but they're just like, hey, game managers, where you at?
Because Tennessee's always had great running backs. Even Travis Henry, if you remember him. He's inmate number like 47389, but at once upon a time he could run football. They used to call him the cheese.
That's probably because he used to sell cocaine out of a cheese bag, but sorry, blow-cane. YouTube.
Allegedly. No, he's pretty crazy. Yeah, Travis Henry. Yeah, he's one of those guys. He's like NBA young boy Nick Cannon. He's got like 37 children, 38 baby mamas. Somehow.
Yeah. Got one on the way.
Couple didn't make it.
So what do you got? Like, what are we?
Oh,
So
you get
for the actual game, not the Titans history. So Russell Wilson historically does very poorly against the Titans. I think he's only beaten the Titans once in his career, and it's in 2013. He's 1-3 against Tennessee. Not very good numbers. So I do like Tennessee. I'd rather see Tannehill. But even if Malik Willis plays, he showed a lot of promise last week. Like, he threw some very beautiful passes, but he had a couple of terrible drops, and both of those passes put us in the Titans in scoring territory. So as long as they just did the jobs wide receivers did, they would have been fine. There was a few times where he was running for his life. I went back on the film, and he didn't throw the ball. He just took the sacks. But I'm glad he took the sacks, because if he threw it, they would have been picks, because the receivers were completely covered. So I'm very happy he didn't do a rookie mistake and just force a pass. Like, I was watching Marcus Mariota do a rookie mistake in his 6th year, or 8th year now at this point, and threw an interception. So I actually liked what I saw from Malik Willis. Obviously, I don't want him to start ever, but maybe next year, the year after that, he's not ready. But I did see a lot of good stuff from him, especially like being a backup playing against the Chiefs. And the Titans defense is the real deal. The Chiefs are the number 1 offense in the NFL. They played 91. They had 91 plays and had the ball for like 43 minutes of that game, and still
over 100 if you count all the penalties.
Yeah, and they only scored what, like 17 points, 20-something points, 24. It wasn't very much. I don't even remember the score of that game, but I was happy with how Tennessee played.
20-17.
2017. Okay, so 20 points, game-winning field goal. Even then, they didn't budge. I do like the Titans. Their defense is really good. I think as long as the offense plays all right, Treylon Burks looks like he might start this week. He's been on IR. He's been just banged up all rookie season. Whenever he has gotten the ball, he's been very good. So if they can play, just feed him the football, honestly. He's a rookie. Just give him something. There's no reason Jacob Hollister or Cody Hollister, whichever Hollister brother it is, there's no reason he should be wide receiver 1 on this Titans team. If he was on, like, let's say, the other 31 teams, he probably would be on the practice squad. But instead, he's wide receiver 1 for the Titans.
Jacob Hollister?
It's Cody Hollister.
Oh, I was about to say he was on our team last year. We caught him.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, just so we're clear, under the name of the Titans, there have been no 4,000-yard passers.
Warren Moon hit it.
Warren Moon hit it twice. He hit it 46.89 and 46.90 in 90 and 91 under the Houston Oilers.
91. That is so long ago.
Yep. But Tannehill is the leading passer in a season with 38.19 in 2020.
Yeah, Tannehill, like, people, like, I am glad that Malik Willis has been playing these last few games, because I think people, especially Titans fans, are respecting Tannehill now. Like, all right, it could be a lot worse. Like, Tannehill gets the job done. That guy has so many fourth quarter comebacks. He's a game manager. He can make very good passes. He makes a lot of bonehead decisions, and now he's getting older. He's a little bit slower. He's still not as athletic as he was, even though he's still a very athletic quarterback. But the offensive line for the Titans is god-awful. We lost 2 starters, didn't even replace them. And then Taylor Lewan gets hurt, and we have literally nobody at left tackle. They might as well throw me back out there. He's 39th ranked out of 39 eligible tight ends this year. Dennis Daly is god-awful. That's why the Carolina Panthers, who's playing right now on Thursday Night Football, traded him away for peanuts, because he's god-awful. He's terrible. I don't understand why they don't put their 2nd-round pick from last year, Dylan Radins, in at left tackle. You invested a 2nd-round pick out of that guy. Let's see what he can do at left tackle. Titans' offensive line is terrible. Even Todd Downing said that his offense is god-awful. He doesn't have to read defenses. The Titans, after a first down run play, they've always pass it, and they're just god-awful. They're so predictable. Or at first down and completion, they run the football 70% of the time. They're so predictable, so terrible, and I'm tired of Downing. If the Titans, I wouldn't be sad if the Titans get blown out on Sunday, if that means Todd Downing gets fired.
He won't.
Blown out?
Yeah, like if the Titans lose 40-0, I would be happy.
40-0? What?
This
Honestly,
not putting up
defensive
30
touchdowns.
unless the
Don't-
defense is
Don't get me
going nuts.
wrong. I definitely want to see the Titans lose because the more games the Titans lose, the better chance Jacksonville has to get into the playoffs.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't see it happening though.
No, I don't either. But I would take anything, any drastic memory or any drastic moment for the Titans to fire Todd Downing. If it means sacrificing a season to get him out of here, I think I'll do it. Because I think if the Titans go to the playoffs, which it looks like we will, Todd Downing's probably keeping his job, which is
Hey,
sad.
tank for Jacksonville to go to. Tank for losing Downing. Gotcha.
Mhm.
All day long.
Which is sad to do. Like an offensive coordinator, you shouldn't have to invest that much capital into losing your season.
If they get rid of Downing, Reich will be your next OC.
Jacksonville fans, I'm sorry to cut off the Titans part of the podcast here. They were like, "Oh, we should move Press Taylor to a different position, and we should bring in Frank Reich as our offensive coordinator." And I was like, "Yeah, how about we don't do that? Because he was the motherfucker calling plays for the Colts."
Yeah, y'all should do it. I'd love it.
Yeah, I saw Titans fans doing the same thing. It's like, no, I'd rather just keep Downing, even though he's terrible, than have Reich, who is going to be new and be here for at least 2 years. Like, no, I don't want that.
Negative.
Absolutely no.
I hate him.
I hate him.
I do think Tennessee's going to win this. I don't know if I ever said that, but I do think Tennessee's going to win. I don't like the matchup. I think they have a very good defense, Denver, and I think the Titans have a very bad offense, so it doesn't work very well. So I think whichever defense does better, that's going to win the game. And then if I'm going against Tennessee's defense or the Broncos' defense, I got to roll with the Titans. So my fanhood, I'm picking the Titans for this week. I think it's going to be slow. I'll be at this game. I bet it's going to be 7-10, maybe 6-10. I bet somebody misses an extra point. So yeah, I think I'm gonna say like 6-10 Tennessee. It's gonna be boring.
Blake Bellamy has officially pulled the fan card.
Yeah, yeah, I will. If it's one or the other, if it's a 50-50, then I'm going with my Titans. I wouldn't bet on it, but if it's a 50-50 shot, I'm going Tennessee always.
Okay.
Unless it's Andrew Luck against the Titans, then no, it's Andrew Luck.
I think it'll be more than that.
He's scoring touchdowns to the Colts.
Huh?
How's Andrew Luck doing? Is he still scoring touchdowns to the Colts? You guys got a new guy in.
No. it'll be another guy. I
heard he's fielding calls.
Why the hell would he want to come back to this?
Be the new coach.
I'm gonna pause it. All right, so Jeff, Isaiah, any final takes on the Titans Broncos game?
Start Malik Willis. He is the quarterback of the future for the franchise. Just keep giving him reps.
We'll see.
Try to get the Titans a loss. Yeah, it's got to. If they're gonna win, it's gonna have to be through Henry again. I mean, just like any other day. But Broncos defense is a lot better than what they've seen. So they just got to get him going. And it's Henry, so I have him in fantasy, so I'm hoping for another repeat performance.
Yeah.
Isaiah, who do you have for the Titans Broncos? You usually always pick the Titans.
So I haven't picked for that game yet. I forgot to do my picks, but I definitely have the Titans over the Broncos. I can't stand. Like, as much as I hate every team in the AFC South, I hate Russell Wilson and the Broncos even more. So there's just
he's so bad against the Titans too. Like if you look at the numbers from history, yeah, he isn't once since 2013. That was his second year in the NFL. Not very good there.
No.
I do like the Titans' chances in this.
All right. Well, with that, let's move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a game that on paper, Jags don't have much of a chance in. What the Jags need to do to have a chance, in my opinion, is play a perfect game of football. That's running the ball a healthy amount. That's creating turnovers, not turning the ball over, protecting Trevor Lawrence all the time, and putting him in a position to, when you need to throw the ball efficiently and effectively. If that can happen, the Jags might have a chance. If it doesn't happen, well, there it goes.
So we don't have to play a perfect game. And the reason I say that is because how many yards did Malik Willis have against the Chiefs through the air?
Like 80.
So with 80 yards roughly through the air with Malik Willis and 0 passing touchdowns, they are still number 1 in the league in passing touchdowns allowed. And they are number 13 in passing yards allowed while allowing a 66% completion percentage.
Mhm.
If Trevor Lawrence plays, a half as good as he played last week, he'll throw for 300 yards against the Chiefs. I mean, it's just their passing defense isn't great. Their running defense is still pretty good, but the Raiders were number 1 and now they're number 9. So we're running the ball pretty good.
And I think that run the football and then throw far away from L'Jarius Sneed because the dude's a beast.
Sneed is good.
I agree with you. I honestly like the Jags. Their matchup's pretty good here.
You feeling all right? You said you were tired before the show.
No, I know it sounds crazy, but I do feel like this could be like an upset. I mean,
they have played really bad against us this season. Like the Chiefs, and honestly, the AFC West in general has played really bad against the South.
yeah,
And the Chiefs especially. What was the Colts Chiefs game? That was 13-12, or what was the final
12
score?
9.
12.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, it was super low, and
Seems like it was so long ago.
kept killing themselves in that one.
And then Malik Willis couldn't have had a worse game as a quarterback and didn't complete a single pass to a receiver last game, and they barely pulled that one out.
Colts Chiefs was 19-17.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
2017. Give us the point. We
I
finally
thought they
hit
missed a
20.
field goal or something.
But yeah, I mean, it's just they're not that. Honestly, the Chiefs are not a great team this year. Like they're not the team that everybody expected them to be. Losing Tyreek
Take
Hill,
out Mahomes, and what do you got?
Yeah, put any other decent quarterback in there, and you're not a good team anymore. But I mean, of course it's still the Chiefs, so it's not like we can just go in there and we're not a great team. Jacksonville, we had a couple complete games, we've played well in a couple games, and we've pulled some out maybe we shouldn't have, but as well I think we're better than our record shows. We have not lost a single game by more than 1 score this season. So I mean it's a situation where I can see it going either way. I don't think that we're gonna win by a lot, but I do think we're gonna win. Travis Etienne just continues to roll, and I think that this is a game where he might have a couple big ones because I mean the Chiefs defense isn't really that fast. Snead's pretty quick, but other than that, there's nobody really out there that I think could catch Etienne in the open field if he had if he got going with a full head of steam. Trevor Lawrence, I think we should continue to let him, do his thing and move the ball when he feels necessary. He had really good pocket awareness against the Raiders, didn't allow a single sack in that game, and it wasn't because he was perfectly protected. There were a lot of plays where he took off and made something happen with his feet. Had a career high of 58 rushing yards, 53, something along those lines, which pretty solid for a quarterback. He put up 235 through the air. Against a terrible Raiders passing defense. So I think again this kind of could be a tale of like last week. They might get up on us early, but I don't think there's a point in this game where Jacksonville will be out of it. But I'm just hoping if it is a 1-score game, I hope it's more or less like last week rather than more of the same where we've lost 1-score games all the time. I think Trevor Lawrence is now 3-10 in 1-score games. But again, that's also because our defense has been absolutely non-existent in the last part of the game, which they fixed that last week. They straight got destroyed by Devontae Adams in the first half, and then Tyson Campbell made some really good plays on the ball, and they had some good team effort against him. And there's no Devontae Adams on the Chiefs, and that's what I like. That's what I like about him. There's Travis Kelce, of course, but I think if we can kind of keep we keep a little extra pressure on Travis Kelce, it's going to force him to throw to TikTok Boy and the rest of them, TikTok Boy and the gang.
TikTok Boy's been pretty good lately, though.
He's not a bad receiver. People
he's their best receiver this year.
Yeah, he's not a bad receiver. Like people give him a lot of crap. He was solid for
his rookie season was magical. I think it was great.
Yeah, he kind of needs other weapons though. Like Kelce being on the team helps him because he needs an actual number one to take heat off of him to have a good season. Which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how he has to play. Like, Antonio Brown had a really good season his rookie year, and he had a really good year. And then as soon as Antonio Brown was gone, he was the number one threat. More or less, it just got worse. But
yeah,
There's no one on the Chiefs offense that scares me besides, of course, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Um, we'll just have to see, though. And again, this could be a week where we get zero pressure, no sacks. It could be like that, or it could be a week where somehow we hit home once or twice, and that's all we need it to be. But I definitely can see a situation where we come out winning if, they said they're going to try and preserve ETN and give Hasty some more carries, so I don't see ETN over like 20, maybe 25 at the very most. I think we're going to see 5 to 10 out of Hasty. But one thing I really like about the Raiders game that we'll be able to use in the Chiefs game, hopefully, as long as they have learned, we took the goddamn points when they were there. We weren't going for it on freaking 4th and 7 at the 20-yard line. We kicked the freaking field goal, and we got back out there on the field the next play. The defense shut them down, and they went for it. Like, we can't keep shooting ourselves in the foot by trying to be too aggressive. We ran the ball on the 1-yard line multiple times instead of throwing the football. That was freaking magical. We did have the one play to Christian Kirk, but they spread out the freaking offense instead of throwing it up to, it's just, if we can do that against the Chiefs and we can run the ball, it'll be a good game. Lawrence, whenever he has pressure taken off of him in previous games, it's shown when we have, 20, 30 plus carries, he has a much better game. So I think, if we can continue to just keep the pressure off of him, let him do his thing back there and let him take off when he needs to, and our defense can, exist for the whole game rather than, the first half or the first 3 quarters, I think we can take them. They haven't looked that great this year against AFC South teams, and I'm hoping to continue the trend and hopefully put another L on their win, or on the, on their win-loss column, and another W on ours, and move up to 4-6 and see what we can do. I mean, I don't think we make the playoffs. I know it's like people are starting to talk and rumble in the Jags community. Oh, we just have to be perfect the rest of the season. We're not that team. Not this year. Next year, maybe. This year, no. I mean, I hope we get a couple more wins. I'd like to beat the Vegas odds, maybe get like 7, but we got to take it 1 week at a time. This is a week where we very easily could win. This is a week where we could very easily lose by 20 points. So it's going to be a hard-fought week, but I think if we can, give some decent bit of carries, keep Trevor Lawrence's jersey clean, and our defense can stay alive for the whole game, I think it'll be a good time. We have to keep Mahomes off the field as much as possible. We need to run the ball 40 times this game, and we just need to keep Mahomes off the field, and that's really the way to win this game.
Yeah. Jeff?
Yeah, it's in Arrowhead. Jacksonville doesn't historically travel well. I think this is a game that could kind of become a runaway for Kansas City. I feel like it'll be kind of a 2-possession game at the end of it. And I'm not trying to crap on Jacksonville. I mean, I like what they've done with ETN, but it being in Kansas City, I just don't think they have enough to keep up. And that's just my take on it. I think
Kansas City's a big one. It's going to be 42 degrees on Sunday. That's the biggest thing for me. That's the biggest advantage for the Chiefs, is the fact that it's going to be 42 degrees in that stadium on Sunday.
Yeah. Weather games for a Florida team.
Yeah,
we historically play bad in cold climates, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I took the Chiefs, and I think it'll be probably a 2-possession game. I've been wrong before.
Blake?
No, I think I said my piece mostly. I think I have to go with Kansas City probably, but I do like Jacksonville a lot. I don't know what the spread is. Anyone know what the spread is?
10.5 to Kansas City.
If it's 10.5, well, yeah, definitely Kansas City. But
bro, just imagine how much money I'm going to make this Sunday.
I would if I were to put money on, I would put money on Jacksonville. I don't think that if they don't win, they definitely cover 10.5 points. If it is a 2-possession, I think it would be right at 10. So if I had to put money on it, I'm putting money on Jacksonville. Straight up money line, I'm going Kansas City.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No. Jags. I think they need to play a perfect game to win, but I don't know. I'm definitely going with KC in this one. But with that, let's move.
They actually adjusted it, by the way. It is at 9.5 now. They adjusted it down from 10.5.
Okay. Let's move to the Texans and the Giants. This is obviously a down year for the franchise among the last several down. So it's just been down, 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 still down.
It all started with the massage, man. It's crazy.
Actually, it probably started with Easterby, but regardless of that, he's gone. The Giants are a very good team this season, at least in the early goings. I still think there's potential for this team to full-blown collapse because it's the Giants and it's Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And Saquon Barkley is not – he just doesn't stay healthy. At some point, he's going to derail. They just run the guy into the damn ground. You know what I mean? Like, he's in the game. They're throwing him the ball or they're handing him off the ball. We know their game plan. I think this is one of those games where they could sneak up on a team. I thought it was going to be last week against the Eagles, and the Texans came out and had a really solid game for 3 quarters, as they do most weeks, and then shit the bed in the 4th quarter. That is probably the most likely outcome of this game, in my opinion, is they just shit the bed. The second most likely out in the 4th quarter specifically. Second is they just don't even show up, like, at all. Like, it's like a 40-0 blowout. Or Houston's going to end up winning this game by, like, a last-second field goal. Like 23-20. Look, it's Dameon Pierce, and it's his show. Davis Mills is just going to have to not fuck up. Like, that is his job. To win games, it's to play efficient, take what is given, and not fuck up. Take a sack when you got to take a sack. Don't force shit. We lost the Eagles game because he forced 2 terrible passes. One was miscommunication.
Don't be a Mariota.
You're asking a lot of Mills, man.
Oh, I know. He's fighting for his job and he's trying to make plays, and I get it. But, like, sometimes the best play is to just admit a loss, take the loss, and move on. Live to fight another down, as it were. He doesn't really have that a lot in him, as you mentioned, but that's what we're going to need today, tomorrow, Saturday. Fuck.
Whatever day it is.
Sunday. Yeah.
Football on TV. Yeah, I mean, look. The Giants' defense is pretty solid. They got a really good pass rush. Kayvon Thibodeau's done pretty well since he's been back from injury early on. They have a couple other pretty good younger guys. They got a Dory Jackson from Tennessee. They've got some interesting pieces that worked pretty well on that defense. They've been able to hold a lot of teams down. Pretty sure they were in a pretty close game with the Eagles at some point.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Division game, though.
Honestly, they might be more fraudulent than the Eagles.
Yeah. Again, I mean, the Eagles, they're... I don't
think nobody this year.
They're just... They play shitty teams. And their shitty teams are... I mean, obviously not very good, so... but the Giants, again, I mean, they beat the Packers, who are playing like shit this season. I'm trying to think, who else did they beat? Probably the Commanders once. I think they played the Jets. I don't know. Look, I'm just not super afraid of this Giants team, regardless of the record. I think the Texans have a shot, but they have to play good, smart football. And with that, I'll open it up to anyone.
Run the damn ball.
Keep it away from that offense.
Right. He's right.
Their run offense versus your run defense is a horrible mismatch that cannot be overlooked. Like, really run the damn ball, keep it away, far, far away from Saquon Barkley. Yeah. I'm not afraid of Danny Dimes, but I am afraid of Saquon Barkley. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be good.
Something that might help the Texans is Malik Collins has been practicing. And he's been the best defensive tackle we've had, and he's been out the last 2 or 3 weeks. He left the game against the Raiders in the first quarter and hasn't played since. So, he's missed the last, 2-3 games now? That's going to be a very, very nice addition or re-addition. So maybe that helps. We'll see. Jeff, Isaiah?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's really gonna come down to the running backs, and like Blake said, just to kind of piggyback, it's a mismatch. Like Giants defense is pretty good, and the Texans are gonna have to run well, and Mills is not gonna have to play stupid. That's really what it's gonna come down to. But I think that the Texans can keep it close, but I think I took the Giants, not by much though.
Isaiah?
I'm taking the Texans.
Chaos pick.
Daniel
He's all about the
Jones.
AFC South.
Daniel Jones sucks.
Got a lot of rushing yards, man.
Dude, 363.
Yeah.
The dude has 1,399 passing yards and 6 passing touchdowns through 9 weeks of football. Hasn't even had a bye week yet. They do not trust the man. They still, let's see here. Darius Slayton, Sterling Shepard. Their tight end leads their team in touchdowns, receptions, Daniel Bellinger with 2. Their leading receiver has 232 yards. Derek Stingley has not let up a touchdown this season. You know who has? Mr. Sauce P.I. Gardner. And they talk about how great Sauce is, but they're not talking about how great Derek Stingley, the man from LSU, has been. I don't see a situation. What are you gonna say something?
When we get off here, I have a inside scoop on Stingley.
Oh, okay, sweet. But yeah, no, the Giants suck. Honestly, I don't know how they're 6-2. They've played a lot of bad teams, honestly, as well.
Except Tennessee.
They've played a lot of bad teams as well.
I mean, that early week Tennessee team, they're not the same team that they are midway or even at the end of the season.
Well,
Tennessee,
yeah,
I always bet
they
against
literally
Tennessee.
can't be. There's 99% roster turnover at this point in the year. So
It's true. It's basically a whole new team.
the team that the Giants played in week 1 is literally the IR right now for Tennessee.
Yeah.
They win. They don't know how to game plan for the new players.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely
I'm just
gonna
waiting for Todd Downing to tear an ACL and get out of there. Like, who's his backup?
He'll call plays from the wheelchair on the sideline. But
You
no,
get
I mean
to come, like, what is it gonna take?
it's definitely gonna be a game of running backs here. I think that Texans can edge them out because like as much as Davis Mills tries to hand games away, he's still better than Daniel Jones in my opinion because the Texans actually trust him to throw the football. Thing about Daniel Jones, he's one of those guys, they don't trust him to throw the football. That's why he has, all those running yards and barely any passing yards. As long as Mills does not give away the game, I think the Texans defense can nut up just enough to give them the edge in this one. But again, we'll have to see. Is Petrie back and healthy? Is he good to go? So I mean, Petrie being back is good. D-line's healthy. Grenard and Jerry Hughes are still good. Getting Malik Collins back will be
Bernard's
nice.
been on IR for like.
Wait, really? I thought he was still healthy.
No, he hasn't
this guy.
played since like week.
But hey, Collins being back. Collins is a solid run stopper, so we'll see. But
You're just bragging, man. I'm a Titans fan. We have more injured players than healthy players. Like, it's crazy you're just naming all these starters. Like people are calling for the Titans. I have no idea who some of these people are. It's like, wow, who's that guy?
Dude, Jacksonville has 1 player on IR and 2 players that are hurt right now. Evan Ingram and Jenkins, and Ingram might play.
The Titans, they throw out starters with the numbers like 43 and 47, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, cornerback playing.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're coming down to the end here, boys. So we got any final comments?
Titans are going to start using triple numbers on their jerseys.
Yeah.
Probably gonna have to. Have the right copyright.
Fire Todd Downing. That's my last words, as usually every week. Fire Todd Downing. Again, my Facebook profile picture is Fire Todd Downing, and it's gonna stay there until he's gone, even if it's 2 years. Not
prior.
I respect it. Isaiah.
Oh, Panthers laid the whoop ass on them. Go Jags. We're gonna beat the Chiefs, and everybody's gonna be sorry.
Everybody's gonna be sorry.
I like the AFC South this week, except for Houston. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Like, hey, I'm sorry, we're dragging you guys down.
I'm taking the whole AFC South this week. Yeah, AFC South or nothing. AFC South or bust.
That should be a shirt too. Speaking of, merch link in the
That would be a
description.
really good shirt, yeah.
Yeah, merch link in the description. And we're still in the hunt for 1,000 subscribers. So go ahead and hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon so anytime we got new stuff coming out, you can just be notified. You don't have to search for it. I know I don't like doing all that. But yeah, if you got any friends that enjoy the Titans, Texans, Jags, or Colts, send them our way. And with that, boys, thank you for coming on. Thank you for watching. And be good people.